think who's
me.
doing this one? It's Josh. Oh yeah, you had some additional topics, and I did put like Timothy Chalamet versus Ballet, but I don't know if that's of interest.
I don't know.
I'm thinking we just do the whole thing live because it feels like it's a slowish week. See what people are interested in.
Yeah, we might as well just stick to this format. I mean, we've been doing most of them lately. So, yeah, I think we're just gonna do the whole thing live. Like
maybe
doing something different. Well, we're gonna do something. We're just gonna do it live.
It's not every single one, but you're right. Yeah. That's worth considering.
I'd have pushback, but
yeah, I think that's we'll discuss it after. Yeah. Are you good with doing this one fully?
My pushback has nothing to do with the content. We can talk about it later. So yes.
Okay. Cool. Let me see. Oh, true. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well.
All right.
What are we talking about? Buttholes?
The AIDS can.
Oh,
tripping me out. Oh my god! But I will say this, but like, I will say it's got to be tough, like for being a bottom, because that's a lot of work you got to put in.
And the craziest shit that I've ever heard is that they don't like because I'm thinking if I was fucking somebody in their ass, I would be jerking their dick at the same time. Like that just seems like because that's what you do with a woman. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're on the same page?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to leave you in the list. I mean, if we're talking
thank you. I appreciate you.
An ultimate pleasure, absolutely.
Right. And I feel like, and my understanding is that that's not a common thing. I don't know if that's changed across time or whatever, but somehow it feels like misogyny. I don't know. It's not my place to judge, obviously. Or maybe it is. I don't know. But something seems off there.
So where were you going with this whole, button jerking dicks thing? Like, I thought it was leading to something else.
Yeah, I feel like I said my whole point.
I might have missed it.
Which was that tops should be jerking dick more.
I feel like they are.
But I'm saying they don't.
How do you know?
I mean, that's what they said.
Okay.
I'm saying that that's what I heard.
Okay.
And that I was disappointed by having heard that. If you know otherwise, like if you got other sources, then
I feel like it would just make sense. But if you're all right, let's
niggas gonna nigga, you said.
What's called a straight eye for the queer guy.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's unpack this box.
Yes. And then pack it again.
Yes, indeed. There we go. Thank you for rounding that circle. So what if gay top, or just I guess a top? I mean, if you're a top, clearly, you're part of the LGBTQ,
Yeah, dreidel. I'm with you, yeah.
What if some of them like still aren't like the best lovers? Like, what if they're like kind of like akin to heterosexual males who just only focus on their own pleasure? Because I gotta imagine if you're a top, if someone is giving up that butthole, and that takes a lot of care, you know what I'm saying? A lot of preparation, you know what I mean? A lot of foresight, a lot of thought. You know what I mean? Because that's like reverse romanticism. Because if you're a bottom or just someone who enjoys, receiving, it's like how women say, I'm going to get back to my original point too, but it's kind of got to be like how women like, oh my God, like if you want to have sex with me, you have to like romanticize me like all day. It's like foreplay is an all day thing. Like I need you to wash the dishes. I need you to take the kids. I need you to
responsive.
Yeah.
Not spontaneous like old girl was saying.
Yeah. So
Caitlin.
But it's kind of like, but it's like in reverse, because like if you got to be ready for action, you already like, you know what I'm saying? It's like revert, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like almost in the reverse, because you got to be ready at any given moment. Or if you want it, you already got to like do the things throughout the day to make sure it's good when shit is about to get cracking. And okay, I'm real quick.
No, I'm gonna let you land.
So with that being said, in terms of the consideration of your partner who is receiving, if you are a top, why ain't you goddamn beating that meat while you stroking that butt? That's fucked up.
I'm 100. Yeah, that's I probably didn't. Yeah, you articulated all that way better because that's what I was trying to say. But I guess just none of that came across. So yeah, exactly. Well said. Because I feel like I remember seeing this. It was like this pop the balloon thing or whatever. It was guys and like M for M or whatever the fuck it's called. MLM mammals, and they were like, one dude asked the other dude, "Hey, what position are you?" He might have used a different word, but just like, "Are you a top or a bottom?" is what he asked. And the other dude immediately popped his balloon. He was like, "We just met. We just said hello. That's an insane fucking question, and you're trying to establish something about who I am and my personality and how you should treat me and how you should respect me. And the top bottom dynamic does not map perfectly to who's masculine, who's feminine, who's in control, who's going to have what personality or any of that shit." So he was just like, "I'm not doing this conversation. Have a good day, sir." And then a whole bunch of people in the comments were like, that is so common for people to just start with these like super disrespectful, overly sexual shit that's also trying to like place you in a particular place. And I think the connection to, you know, kind of what you're saying is kind of coded as like, well, who's gonna be the boy and who's gonna be the girl? And so if you're the girl, then that means da is true about you, i.e. you're lesser, you're not to be respected, your pleasure don't matter, blah blah blah. And so I think all of that is, to the same extent that niggas don't, straight men don't what do you call it, like tend to the clit, is the same extent to which top niggas don't tend to the dick. Was what I was trying to draw as a parallel. Because it's like, and then to the prep thing that you were like, the preparation thing that you were saying, it's like women do that too. Like the amount of work that they put into their bodies before the point of us fucking versus how much men put into it before the point of fucking is like night and day. Like the amount of work that, like, by the time you are fucking a lady, the amount of things that she's done that benefit your experience during that versus what the average man is doing.
Oh,
night and day.
Getting waxed. That
right.
But
it's
also,
wild.
I also do feel like that's also part of their own self-care. Because I also do feel like a lot of that is also part of their own self-care. That is a hilarious comment, by the way, too.
Like we went so straight that we said we're gonna talk about some gay shit right now. Like, no women involved in this convo. The misogyny of homosexuality. That's sorry.
On International Women's
on
Day.
International Women's Day. Damn, I'm talking about men loving men on International Women's Day. I'm sorry.
Had no idea, and that's also a part of like the misogyny as well. Had no idea it was y'all's day.
You didn't know?
International.
Oh man, you didn't see the LeBron GIF circulating again?
Oh,
do you not know? Do you know the meme I'm talking about?
There's plenty of LeBron memes.
It's the Happy International Women's Day LeBron meme.
Oh no,
it's him. You've seen this meme. It's him and two old white ladies talking, and they're like kind of fawning over him. And he goes, you can't hear what he's saying because it's like a camera way across the basketball field or whatever. And he's like, first of all, Happy International Women's Day. And they go, oh my God, thank you, LeBron. Like you can just, but you can't hear anything. You can just tell
that's what he's
being said from the lip sync.
I love across the basketball field and two old white women, as if like one of those women wasn't Jeannie Buss. Just hilarious. I don't know sports stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. So one of them is an athlete.
Jeannie Buss is the former as a part of the Buss family, former majority owner of the Lakers and former head of basketball operations / president of the Lakers organization.
Damn. Game of Thrones type shit. Okay. First of her name.
Hell yeah. You know nothing, Sean Stark.
But like she's also like renownedly famous in sports because the Lakers are one of the biggest brands in sports, like of any sport, in terms of net worth. Yeah.
And somebody said,
Happy International Women's Day, though, for real.
Yeah, big facts. Happy International Women's Day. Well, Purple Rain said it was Women's History Month. Big shout out to March. Big season. Let's go.
Okay, top 3 women all time.
Top 3 women
all time.
Oh my God. Oh shit. Okay, I gotta throw out the classics. Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, And I feel like I gotta. I feel like I gotta. Damn. Oh shit. That third one is kicking my ass.
Yeah, it's a careful one. You know what I mean?
I want to like choose like one more, a little bit more modern. Angela Bassett.
You know what's crazy? I was about to say Whitney or Angela. Interesting. Like Houston. Yeah. Okay. Good choice. I'm gonna say top three. Okay. Top three. I have some in mind, but I don't think I can use those ones. Hold on. FKA Twigs. And that's just because I like the way she approaches certain artist shit.
FK Twigs?
FKA Twigs, yeah.
FKA Twigs, okay. All right. No judgment. Oh, damn. Sade is a good one. That is a good one, too.
Who else do we put in there?
Purple Rain says Sade. Rains.
Sade is, I don't know. Hold on.
I mean, that's hers, but, you know, honorable.
I was going to say Nina. Yeah, because I didn't want to go artist, I guess, because I'm going top three all time. Like, I didn't want to go with artists. Yeah.
It's a lot to choose from. It's a tough one. It's a tough list.
I'm gonna say Hedy. What's the old girl's name? Oh, you know what? Okay, two people. Hedy Lamaine, who was like a fashion model and an actor, and like she invented like ham radio or some shit, and the lady that invented Bluetooth. That's gonna be my three.
Okay, there's got to be like a top 10. Like you got your top three, but your 7 honorable mention because there's so many that we're missing.
7 honorable mentions. Rick Owens' wife. She's interesting.
Regina Hall? Regina King?
Not Hall. Yeah, King. Hedy Lamarr. Thank you. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Who else we got in the chat? Let me see. My mom. No.
Yeah. Hey man, fuck that. Put my mom up in there. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Put my mom up in there.
Whole world wouldn't be here otherwise.
You know what I'm saying? Oh shoot. Oh, there. I thought about who else. Damn, I had another good name. A couple good names. I forgot already.
Jacinda Ardern, former PM of New Zealand. I'm put her on the list.
Oh, okay. The woman that made the Matrix.
Oh, yes. What was her name? Fuck. And Terminator. What was her name? Was it Cynthia something?
I mean, that was widely debunked when she took that to court in like 7 million different ways. So, but yeah.
Hey, but she told a great story, so she still get on the list just for that, because people still believe it.
She didn't. That black woman didn't make the Matrix. She didn't. What? Oh, no. Fine.
Look, you know, it's contentious. It's contentious, but I like the story. So
hey, you know what? Yeah, man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? She's the greatest Rachel Dolezal of our time.
There we go. She was really black though, but
I mean, but I'm talking about in terms of comparison.
Yeah, I know what you meant. The story. Yeah, I feel you. Just to clarify for the audience. Fucking what's old girl? Mara Akil, who did Girlfriends, and Shonda Rhimes.
Oh, okay. Fuck with it. Tough.
Oh, and old girl from Love and Basketball. What's her name? Blythe. What's her name?
Sanaa Lathan?
Blythewood.
No, not Sanaa. Blythewood. Yeah.
I might have to put Tracy Ellis Ross. Slightly past all time. Like, okay, Bell Hooks. You know, sure. We'll put her in there.
Yeah, Gina Prince, Blythewood. Yeah,
I put Bell Hooks.
Yeah. I haven't read enough of her shit to really like, but you know, for sure, you know, on there.
But in terms of impact, yeah,
facts. Yeah, you know what? I'll roll that back. Yeah, just objectively, off impact.
Alvin, what's your? Do you have any?
I will support y'all list.
Yeah, this nigga right here. All right.
Okay, so he's co-signing everybody that we put on our list. Okay.
Okay. So we about to get into some ignorant shit now since we got that cosign.
Yeah.
I didn't say I co-signed. I said I was supporting
Eileen Warnos.
Jasmine
Casey
Webb.
Anthony. Yeah. Oh, Henrietta Lacks. That's a good one. I was gonna say Octavia Butler, but I also have not read enough of her shit. I've only read like I literally just finished this time travel and slavery shit. What's it called? Kindred. It was good. It was cool. Felt like a high school book, and I don't say that as an insult. Like it was an easy read, which is I think good. But Body Blue, Kindred, yes, but her impact is so crazy. She's won like 3 Hugos. Like, she got to go on the list.
Got to.
Zora Neale, yeah, I think she's big up there. Again, I haven't read none of her shit, but I did remember her talking about her first book, how she like doesn't relate to it anymore, which to me is a positive because she's like, I'm a grown ass woman and I was writing about like young woman shit, and there's always new women coming up to me about how great my blah 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 is, and I'm like, baby, I'm old. Can't even relate to y'all no more, which is such an interesting place to be.
Their Eyes Are Watching God is one of the worst books I've ever read in my life.
Is that Zora?
Yep.
Oh, also, I'm completely confusing two people. Y'all talking about Zora Neale Hurston. I was talking about Zadie Smith, two totally different people. So I retract what the fuck I said. It's a wrong fact. And apparently she's trash, according to Alvin.
That's an outlier opinion. Don't base your.
Sorry, she's an outlier. Has a trash book.
Yeah.
Alice Walker.
Crazy. Being young, low key weird. That is, you know what? Shout out to you. That is a great take. How dare you be born after like 2000?
What are we saying?
Somebody in the chat just said being young, low key weird as hell.
A little bit. It's a strange experience from both perspectives.
Okay, all right. Oh, Sade would definitely be in my honorable mentions. But before we continue
Somebody said bottom 3 women.
I know, right? Before we continue on, we can definitely get back into the shenanigans. Welcome everybody to Waving the Red Flag, the #1 straight eye for the queer guy and the best women's appreciation podcast in the entire Eastern Hemisphere of the universe. It's your boy Josh, it's your boy Eddie, and of course it is the magnanimous Alvin. The gang's all here. We are talking, everything under the sun. More than happy to take, any suggestions from the chat. But, we also got some tidbits ready for you tonight. So, hey, welcome to the show, baby. Let's get it going.
Very nice. Yeah, bottom 3 women, Candace. Sorry, Alvin, go ahead.
Yeah, nobody knows who Shakespeare really was. There's like 40 different Shakespeare conspiracy theories. Most of the most credible ones is that it was about 8 different people. And none of the 8 people were Black women. Most of them were noblemen.
Yeah, fair enough.
Most of them were noblemen, and they hid their names because it was considered gay to be a playwright, basically.
It still is, yeah, low key. It's a difficult world. That is hilarious. Because I remember you being deep into like the Shakespeare conspiracy lore, and none of them were women of any background as well, but most likely
there are some stories of it being women, just none of them were Black women.
Okay, yeah. I mean, were there a lot of Black women or like just non-white women in the Shakespeare era of Europe?
It's not that many Black people in Europe now, so I doubt it was that many.
That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, it just seems like it would have been strange if like, oh yeah, Shakespeare was a Chinese lady. Like, I mean, it could be, but seems highly unlikely. Oh, Oprah. I don't know how I feel about Oprah, but impact, Oprah got to be top 20 women all time. Yeah, clearly. Ariana Huffington, I guess. Yeah, probably on there. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody said Coretta Scott King too. Michelle Obama. Wendy Williams. No. Oh yeah, there you go. Be on the bottom of that. Yeah. Okay. Bet.
Oh, okay.
Oprah got to be top 10 for real. I put her like bottom, like top 3.
The top 3 or the bottom, you said?
Yeah, like I think
I was gonna say Shirley Chisholm as well. Yeah,
it was like somebody said like the bottom, like top or whatever. I don't know. Oprah got some stuff.
Grace Jones, yeah. Who else?
I'm gonna kick myself so hard in the ass because like there are so many great women that we are missing.
Oh yeah, I'm forgetting so many
Phenomenal women that we are missing. Like it's really a shame. Simone Biles.
because I feel like objectively, yes, yeah, and then Venus, Serena, obviously in that same FloJo. Like,
I was just FloJo put a track and field on the map for women, black women at least. Well, yeah, shit, fuck that. She paved the way.
I'm looking up some of these women. Who are these women? Frances Cress. Oh wait, do I know who this person is? Because I feel like, psychiatrist. Okay, yes.
Sha'Carri still got some work. You know what I mean? She got some work to put in.
Yo, you know what's interesting? I'm looking at her at Frances Cress Welsing's Wikipedia page right now, and tell me something if you see anything interesting about the first couple sentences.
I can't even see that.
Oh, you can't see that?
Hold on, I got a full screen. This bit real.
Hold on, I'm
blind.
Foundational Black American Psychiatrist.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I think that's the first time I've seen that as somebody's thing. But anybody can put anything on Wikipedia, so it can get corrected or changed later. Or like the fact that we're even streaming this could cause somebody to correct it after the fact, or not correct it. Because I actually am a proponent of something like that. But that's just interesting. That's just interesting.
I am not. It's
you don't think
it's
so?
It's one of those things where their core philosophy is so wrong, and people try to say that it makes sense because they cherry pick like the two things of the broken clock
that
theory
makes sense.
that they think makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if you're only picking out these few cherry pick things, that mean you don't agree with the ideology. Most of the shit they're saying is bullshit.
And let me clarify because I'm not gonna say I took painstaking, but I did add a word in there, which is that I think we should have something there different than African American or distinct, or like a word that signifies what is meant by that. Foundational Black American may very well not be that thing. So I just agree with having a term to signify what ADOS is signifying without necessarily making any statement on the philosophy broadly.
I heard you differently, so I do apologize, and I think
I might be lying.
Clarity. I will also say that no, what you said makes sense in context. I just heard one different word. I heard like not there should be something there. I heard that there is something there, implying that their philosophy makes sense.
I see.
But I also think the wording of it is bigger than, like, they have a philosophy that's bigger than their wording, which is foundationally I think wrong. I did want to say shout out to the Mae Jemison call out. Mae Jemison is why I want to be an astronaut, by the way.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
She's a living legend. She's still very much alive.
Hey.
Yeah, no, her picture is very iconic. Like, she's only 69 years old. Yeah, okay.
Shout out.
Damn.
Long live. Okay, I got somebody. Actually, there was two questions in the chat that I actually did like find it pretty interesting. One, was how do y'all find self-love? And I think it was something about the draft.
Draft was outlawed in the 70s, by the way. So they're technically, the conscription doesn't exist in the United States anymore, by the way. We do have to still sign up for selective services just in case they reinstate it, but they won't reinstate it.
I remember that shit. That was so weird.
Right.
You got to sign up for selective service. What the fuck?
Man, fuck all that.
Terrifying.
I'm so happy like so many people are speaking out against this bullshit. I don't know how much we can actually say without it, getting demonetized or just like, our phones being tapped. You can
say everything.
Okay, well,
that part, the latter part, everybody's phone has already been tapped about it.
Yeah.
But the first, demonetized, I think we're good to say anything as long as there's no threats to, state leaders.
Yeah. Okay, bet. Yeah, I don't have I'm glad, a lot of people are speaking out against this war against Iran because, we're basically just Israel's lapdogs at this point, I would say I would go extra hard, but, I got to be a little bit more careful. But y'all know where I'm coming from. I think a lot of people know my stance if you're not new to this channel. How I really feel about these people.
Yeah.
But if there were a draft, I would be ineligible for it, thank God. You know what I mean? I got all sorts of shit I could pull out my ass, like, yo, oh shit, my knee.
Yeah.
Yo, no.
I got 13 toes.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
bad shoulder. My wisdom teeth are still in. I got night blindness, all kind of stuff. Nah. I got male
I just
pattern
enlist.
hair.
You would enlist, or you just
Yeah.
enlist?
No, I
Real
would
nigga
just
shit.
I would just enlist.
I'd just be a soldier. Shit. Fuck it.
Oh, shit.
No, because that was
Well,
a strategy
He'd be a
during the
computer
draft
person.
days. No, that was a strategy
Ah.
during the draft days. So if you were going to get drafted anyway, which people knew they were going to be, if you enlisted, then you got some preferential treatment in terms of what you did. I mean, and then I could also just do public health service. I would have options if I just would enlist versus being a conscript.
Yes, sir. Because then you can
But
go, I'm going to do something I know is non-combat related or whatever thing you're trying to avoid.
Yeah, whatever thing I'm trying to avoid, it wouldn't necessarily be non-combat, but whatever I'm trying to avoid. I would also say that the way the government has folded, and somebody brought up this point on Twitter, so I'm basically just regurgitating points, but the way the government folded on some ICE protests, I think a lot of us don't really know the history of anti-war protests. If they were to put in legislation to reverse the policy on conscription, the country will fucking explode, because that's what happened. So the beginning of the anti-war protests started when during the Nixon administration, and Nixon is, a Republican. Nixon was decidedly more liberal in most respects than any Democratic president that we've had probably since Jimmy Carter. And it was because he was like, we're going to fucking lose the entire country if we don't start acquiescing to some of these more liberal demands, because the youth is revolting. Like, there were protests at the scale that I don't think people fully comprehend now. So there's probably there. I can with relative certainty, especially given how like they folded very, very quickly. If you actually think of time scale on ICE shit, that there's not going to be a draft. I'm not remotely worried about a draft.
Do you think that there's any? Yeah, I mean, honestly, that makes it, because I feel like
Also, war is
once you
different
say
now.
you have to fight,
Yeah,
true, we don't need people in the same way. But like,
Yeah.
because once you say you have to fight, then I feel like now that really takes the ankle weights off when it comes to civil disobedient violence. Now people are like, well, shit, you sending me to war anyway. Now the reason that I maybe wasn't in the streets before is because I didn't want to get shot by the police. But if you're saying you're going to force me to go get shot by somebody else while killing brown people, then I may as well, pour a little liquid in this wine bottle and put a handkerchief in the top of it. I may as well at this point. So I feel like that unlocks a different side of things.
And again, I want to be very careful here, because I think it's time for a revolution. I think it is time for a revolution in all. I don't, it's gonna, you gotta be careful. Shit is recorded, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. To the folks at home,
You know what I mean? Not inciting anything, but you know what I'm saying? Because hey, we can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do as an individual? But hey, the people got together and came on one accord. It's been done before, as Alvin states, historically, with this, fact, state, and statistics.
I don't think revolution in the way that people romanticize it is possible. So here's a difference between now and when actual revolutions happen. Because like the 60s and 70s wasn't revolution. The 60s and 70s was reform. I think reform is super. I think meaningful reform is super.
Yeah, we weren't having regime changes and shit.
Yeah, so the only way revolution works is if the people in power value the sovereignty and the legitimacy of their authority of the people. Because make no mistake about it, like if there's a revolution and you push people, they could just wipe us the fuck out. So you're immediately dependent upon the niceness of who you're trying to overthrow in the sense of great powers. And if you're already depending on the niceness of the people, then that means reform is possible. Like if you're just contingent upon like the niceness of whether or not they'll we can push them a little bit, then reform is possible.
That is a great. May I?
Okay. Yeah.
That's a really good point. I also think that in terms of being like, if the people are just wiped out, which absolutely, they definitely have like way more firepower. The powers that be have always had, well, not always, but powers that be have had way more firepower, way more organization and infrastructure than the people, but the people still are the majority. If you wipe out the people, then you have no one to serve that higher power. So that is also where the niceness comes in. But if the type of revolution I'm talking about is just like overthrowing every fucking thing, just kind of starting from scratch and then putting people in place that actually give a fuck, or keeping the people in place that give a fuck, in da da da. But yeah, because yeah, the type of revolution I'm thinking about still seems relatively possible. But yeah, we could get wiped the fuck out. But if everyone literally, which is kind of far fetched, but if everyone literally got on the same page, them niggas would have to be nice and have to acquiesce. Because again, like, we are the workers. Like, literally everything that they have is because of everybody below them.
I think if you think in the context of modern revolutions that have happened in any sort of situation, the best you get is military dictatorship. Like, I don't and that won't be any better. So what you get is, like, think about the largest like modern revolutions, right? It would probably be the fall of the USSR, right? So the USSR is a great nuclear power. The USSR has the most powerful known nuclear war arsenal in the world, right? Russia now, right? The Russian Federation. At each single step of the Russian like historical like pivot points of their revolution, because there have been many, I'd say, over the past like, what is it, 150 years? You go to like the Bolsheviks, and then you go to Leninism, and then you go to Stalinism, and then you go, after the actual fall of the USSR, all that kind of stuff. All of that has resulted in basically a military takeover. So their situations didn't get better. They basically maintained a lot of the status quo post Lenin. So going from the Bolsheviks to Lenin, huge change. Going from Lenin to Stalin to each subsequent ruler, basically the same shit. And it's because like the people don't have the power. The military have the power. Again, when you have Tsar Bomba, when you have a single bomb that can level half a country, like you depending on the military being nice, and you depending on nice people.
Yeah.
Because when I think of revolution, I think of like military revolutions or paramilitary, which maybe you're saying is, and I understand in the context of the US, maybe that's just totally off the cards anyway. But I feel like I'm getting mixed up of what we're talking about when we talk about revolution. Because, like, what would you call, Iran going from the monarchy to the, I don't know, whatever it, a theocratic, whatever it is now, essentially.
Yeah.
Like,
So I'm talking about specifically in the context of the United States, first and foremost. So again, like, a bunch of people can overthrow a relatively weak military. Like, cool. But even in a lot of the situations where you see those kind of things, those are typically still martial law military dictatorships, or martial law military dictatorships stopping revolutions, like what you saw in like South Korea when the president declared martial law. But in the context of the United States, where you have the most powerful military in the history of militaries, like, revolution looks a little bit different. And I think that most of the examples that anybody can come up with, even in the context of weaker militaries, are going to be military martial law overthrows, or they're going to really just be reform.
Okay, because for instance, you said that um, for a lot of these so-called revolutions, it requires like a kind of niceness from the people being like overthrown or whatever. I guess I'm trying to understand how where we arrive at there. Because if we're just saying the level of military power and organization required to overthrow, a country as powerful as America basically just doesn't exist and is impossible for the populace to generate. That makes sense to me. I get that part. But then if I'm thinking about like I don't know, a Rwanda, Kagame takes over the military and, basically takes control of the government to squash a genocide. Or I'm thinking of the Sudan shit with what's up, Hamedi, and what's the other guy, Al Baran or whatever, like, where these are guys who run militaries, but if you have a sufficient force of people behind you, then we call that a military. And so now, yeah, in order to do a revolution, you require a military is almost kind of one of the things I'm trying to reconcile here. Like, that's an assumption, I would think.
So one, in a
Mhm.
lot of the situations where people are talking about it, what you actually didn't have was a standardized state military or a strong standardized state military. What you had
Okay.
was countries run by warlords that had paramilitary forces that consolidated power and then took over government through force and continued consolidation. So I think that's
Okay.
different than saying, a military. Two,
Okay.
what I'm saying is that most people don't make the assumption that a revolution has to be military. So if we utilize, examples that we see in pop culture all the time, is
Sorry,
people think that
just to
like,
clarify before you, so I make sure I understand each of
yeah,
the segments that you're using to build this, is the idea that something like what, and maybe you would say these kinds of people are different, like Kagame or Hamedi. I forget who the RSF dude is. I'm getting them confused in my head, but I
yeah,
think you know what I'm talking about. Are we saying that those kinds of paramilitary organized sort of warlords, that's not a military? So there's a military, and then there's these like smaller things, and that's not a military.
I'm saying that those things are not a proper analog for anything in regards to a great power, which is why I use the USSR for my example. I'm saying that anything that you can think of in the context of a developing country in no form or fashion compares to a revolution in the context of a great power, because the militaries are just night and day. Like it's like comparing, your JV football squad to, the New England Patriots or some shit. Like it's not
Okay.
the same thing. But and I gave that initial thing, not actually kind of talking to my first point. That was more
Mhm.
just addressing the fact that those entities that you're like describing are in no form or fashion congruous to a actual like great power military. Like
Okay.
those were warlord factions in effect, right? Those were paramilitary
Yeah.
forces.
Okay. I
And
think I'm with
when
you.
we talk,
Yeah.
yeah, and when we talk about revolution, most people say, "Oh, what if the people all just rise up?" What I'm saying is that usually that's not what happens in the modern context of revolution. Usually, what happens is the military leaders make a choice, because when the people rise up, the people can just be put down fairly easily. The only reason why the people don't get put down fairly easily is if the government is nice, effectively. And I'm skipping a lot of steps there. I'm oversimplifying what that means,
Yeah.
because there are a lot of reasons why government would be nice. Nice has to be qualified in a lot of different ways, but ultimately it's niceness. There's a reason why like
They
countries
acquiesce
don't
in
drop
some form.
nukes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you push people, to make them not nice, then that becomes a scary situation. And if you think you can push people in a way that they remain nice, then I think that you're saying like reform can happen. Because that's what happened. And again,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff happened. We just talked about how we no longer have conscription. Do you know why we no longer have conscription? We no longer have conscription because a bunch of people marched, protest, they flipped some shit over, they yelled at the right people, they voted in a specific way. None of us have seen a draft in our lifetimes. That's reform. I think reform is possible.
Yeah. No, I'm
I
with
think
you on that. I guess
revolution
I'm just
is
trying to
not.
get my head around how you're using the word revolution, because I'm thinking kind of what Josh was saying, that by definition, if it's because of acquiescence, then it's not a revolution. I'm thinking revolution is violent overthrow of a power system, which may involve a military, but that's still a revolution. That's like the military said, "Fuck the executive branch, we're going to kill them." Whatever. That's a revolution, is what I'm thinking of. Are we using it differently, or
I'm
is
not.
that the way that you're using it? Or
I'm struggling to understand why you're not getting what I'm saying, because like I don't think that anything that
yeah,
I'm
okay,
saying is incongruous to what you're saying. So like
it might
what
not be.
I
I'm
what
yeah.
so like I was telling a story about about how when revolutions happen in the modern context, that it is because of military. So if you think a military revolution is a revolution, I'm saying that like that's the only way it happens. And I went through a bunch of details when I talked about the USR example about how a military revolution just won't get people what they want. Because when people think about flipping the table over and turning stuff over, I went
Okay.
through the details about how, say, the Bolshevik to Lenin military revolution in the USSR changed things. But Lenin to Stalin, subsequent stuff, fall of the USSR, military revolutions, nothing really changed for the people. So is it so like if you do a military revolution and you change
Okay.
hands, you change the
That's the
guard,
bit I
nothing
was
really
missing. Or
happens.
that's one of the bits I was missing. Yeah. Now that clarifies a lot. The like a revolution will not give you the thing that you want. I think that was the sentence that I missed somewhere in the things that were being said. Um yeah.
Well, I think that's yeah. Because I ain't gonna hold you out. You kind of taught me off a little bit of a ledge there. That's pretty good. That's a really good perspective you had brought to my attention. Um, but again, I think there's all sorts of revolutions that could happen that would therefore, like you said, lead to, dependent on the powers that be being nice to make them change policies. And I think the reason why they do acquiesce to like the people's demands when the people do actually collect is because at least in some form or facet they have learned from the past and say, okay, you know what, this just ain't worth it. Nigga, we killing ourselves and our overall bigger picture by annihilating everybody, even though that's what the fuck they doing anyway, just in a more long-term fashion. But in short term, I get that. So reform absolutely can happen, but it's just this world is so goddamn evil. Like these people are just so fucking evil. It's like just like Chrissy Nome got fired. Yay! Have a brief moment of applause. Fired. Exactly. She got fired. Bitch just got moved to another goddamn position. Still very much so employed. But who the fuck is gonna take? But like,
I didn't know that.
This other goddamn crazy ass cracker ass office fucking rocker is just gonna take her place.
Yeah, he's like
So
an
it's
MMA
like-
fighter or some shit. He's
A
like an
failed
MMA
MMA
fighter or
fighter.
some shit. Yeah.
He's a failed MMA fighter. I think he's had like 5 fights
Yeah,
or some
okay.
shit. Yeah, Mark
Yeah.
Wayne Muller. Senator.
Yeah. One of them goddamn right-wing man type of motherfuckers. Like, so it's like, it's just like, god damn, at what point do we just have enough? Like, at what point can we truly have something better for humanity speaking versus just the top 1%, top 10% at very most? And that's what's so like frustrating, because yeah, we can like, we can come to the table and like, hey, give and take, hey, that's kind of like life. But when you're dealing with evil, at what point does God just come down and say, you know what, it's just time to reset this bitch? That was all I got.
Hopefully we don't find out. Hopefully we don't find out.
People don't even give a fuck about the kids, bro. Like, you can't talk about shit. You ain't talk about certain shit.
What you mean?
Epstein Island. Like, yeah, we can talk about Epstein Island now, like Epstein files and all that shit. But like, in terms of actual shit, people that's actually in it, did it. We see them. We have their names. Nothing happened to them yet. Like, it's shit like that that's like evil as fuck to me. And like, if you speak out about it too much, you cause too much of a wave, too much of ripples, that's your ass. Like, your life could be in jeopardy. Hell, I might be fucking myself up right now. Even though I have been depressed in the past, people, I am currently not suicidal. I have not been suicidal in a very long time. Very, very long time. I'm not planning on doing nothing to myself, okay? But exactly. Yeah. So it's just like, but that's what I'm saying. This world is fucking, these people that's in power are evil. Legitimately evil. Like Lex Luthorian, worse than Lex Luthor, because Lex Luthor wouldn't fuck kids.
He would not do that. That's a good point. He did a lot of fucked up shit.
But he ain't fucking, you know what I'm saying? He ain't eating children. He ain't eating babies.
Are they?
What Marvel villain is eating babies?
Or did they actually eat? Is that a thing? Oh yeah, true. Because I guess there's babies on it. But like, is that a thing, or we kind of exaggerating a little bit? Or is that a thing that happened?
Orphan sashimi is a thing, my brother.
Oh shit! Yeah,
the pizza. They was referring to kids, like orphans, children.
I have heard some of that stuff, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised at how little, like you said, people don't give a fuck about it. Like, because we've had like on the topic list, that shit has come up, like the Nancy Guthrie shit, the fucking Virginia Giuffre shit. Like when Epstein first, like people aren't, and I guess I don't know, people aren't interested in it, or it's just interesting how it's kind of like, it used to be conspiratorial shit, and then it was, most of it was facts, or at least worthy of investigation, and it was just like people kind of don't give that much of a fuck about it. It's like the I'm not going to kill myself, I am not suicidal, and then literally Virginia Giuffre commits suicide is like, okay, like it's really whatever type of time.
Her mom, if I'm thinking about the same person.
The mother of the journalist who like platformed her story was kidnapped, and
Yeah.
still is not been found.
Yeah. So, it's a lot that's going on in this world. And that's why, I mean, because Alvin is right. We could all get annihilated, but I don't know. I'm not exactly. I don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Alvin gave some good points. I was mostly just asking clarifying questions. I don't know where I fall on that, honestly. Yet.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I'm at this point. I'm like, shit. I don't know. That's not fair. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it. I'm just like, throw the baby out with the bathwater.
See what happens.
But I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't want to say, yeah. I mean, and by throw the baby out with the bathwater, I don't mean I'm sure, because I want to clarify, like, because like it could just be Eric. Well, shit. I wish this wasn't recorded because I can't say some shit. But yeah, it's kind of like
we can say it after the podcast. I mean, you're welcome to. We can talk anytime.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not stupid.
No. I wasn't. Sorry, I wasn't saying say it. I was saying you cannot say it and say it when we're not recording, because this happens to be a podcast.
Yeah. Because I just hate like saying, like talking and then like going quiet, like you know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I'll just end it there. Context, people. Oh, hold on.
I will say.
1 second, Alvin. 1 second. Alvin. 1 second. We got to hit it with them.
Which button is it?
Hit it for him.
Control.
Thank you for the Grammy.
There we go.
Yeah. I will say that the tone that people don't care, I would say is not accurate. So where I live is in a very politically active area, and there are Epstein file protests like every weekend. There are still major Epstein protests like nationwide. If you poll people, that's still one of the things that people care about, like immensely in terms of what they're doing. It's actually one of the few things that, along with the rising concern with the economy, that actually dents Trump's support on the right, because there are a lot of things because there are a lot of things that
for a lot of people.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things that it's a bit murkier. So, for example, immigration stuff, right? Or like the attacks on the fishing boats, in international waters. Those things are a bit murkier, where it's like you see him go hard, like negative with independents and Democrats, of course, but they still kind of fuck with what he's doing in terms of bombing the cartels.
He's not losing the base.
Yeah. And with the immigration stuff, again, even Republicans don't want him kidnapping people in streets, but never get it twisted. Republicans don't like immigrants. So the data's a bit skewed on that one. His handling of the Epstein files,
don't want it impacting American citizens.
Yes. The impact of the Epstein file shit consistently is fucking pummeling him. It's consistently pummeling him. And I think that some of that is, some of the perception of it is, like I've said this, on our podcast multiple times, when people when we got into a situation where we were talking about Trump every weekend, I'm like, how many times can I say like the shit is bad? You know what I mean? Like how many? Like, so I think that like a lot. I mean, you can say it as many times as it takes, but it's also like we're people, right? Yeah. I'm still a person, right? So like I don't necessarily, and people have multiple things that they can care about and multiple things they could think are bad all the time. Like, just because I'm not talking about this one bad thing doesn't mean I no longer think it's bad. It doesn't mean that it's not on my mind. It just means that maybe I'm not talking about it right this second and right now. So I do think that the lens of it not being a bad thing and like people don't care about it is a little bit exaggerated, because trust me, it's out there and it's hitting them hard.
I will say to clarify that I think the more I think about it, it may be that it's like either algorithmically suppressed or whatever. Like, there's plenty of people who do care, and as you said, it's the top of the list thing for a lot of even Trump's base. what I'm surprised at is how little engagement it gets relative to other shit. But that's
Mhm.
a different specific, you know, microcosm of the people who listen to our stuff, the algorithm,
Yeah,
like that could be a combination of audience and algorithm. And I don't know which one it is. From our side, we
Mhm.
don't see that in analytics
I think it's a
of
lot.
is it being suppressed? Is it not being is like it on some governmental like in COINTELPRO type shit, or is it just being suppressed in a sort of more passive, negligent, less malicious YouTubey way? Or is it like to all the points that you made? It's not that people don't care, is that they've got limited bandwidth to continually, you know, say something, which I don't know. That still to me kind of a little bit falls into the don't care camp, but it is slightly different.
I think it's also I think it's a lot to do with the algorithm because like what it was a TikTok. Like take TikTok for example. Um a lot of anti-Israel like content will just get swept from it or like suppressed
Mm,
or like that video would get
true.
flagged. So it's like stuff like that that doesn't suit the overall agenda of said powers that be and things like that. I think those videos get shown less, things like that. You get shadow banned, stuff like that. But also when it comes to the people, it's honestly it's kind of weird. Like because I think also people pick and choose what they kind of like want to care about in a week or
Yeah.
what they have the
Because even
bandwidth
with
to care about in a week. If it's too
it is
heavy,
a priority list.
you know
Because
what I
even
mean?
with
Like
the Israel shit, like with all the suppression that's happening, I constantly am seeing somebody talk about Israel. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Watermelons in the like there's always something, which I don't know where the two measure or whatever, but you get a sense that even if suppression is happening, you can tell that people are talking about it online.
mhm,
The
yeah,
Epstein shit doesn't feel that way.
it's too big. Like
Yeah.
it's too huge of a scandal for for it to escape the algorithm.
Oh, the Israel shit, you mean?
The Epstein shit.
Okay.
Oh, unless I misunderstood what you were saying.
Like or maybe I'll just say it again, which like I feel like the conversations about Israel feel like even if there is some suppression happening,
Mhm.
they seep through to the point that I'm constantly seeing it covered in some way by
For
people,
sure.
whereas I don't see that for the Epstein stuff, which gives either the
Interesting.
impression or the illusion, which might be incorrect to many of y'all's points, that people are less interested in talking about that until they're blue in the face. Whereas the Palestine Israel shit, people are quite happy to use our previous phrase, repeat it as many times as it takes. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think
I
some
will,
of it is the algorithm.
Mm.
Like
and
I did an exercise not that long ago where I pulled up a tweet next to somebody and we were seeing different mentions like at the top of our tweets. Like we don't get shown the same shit. So sometimes they show you what you gravitate towards, what you doom scroll for, what you do, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So the example that I picked, so my linchpin issue, which is the one issue that worries me because I know we can't roll it back because most things like the world is bad, but the world
We
is
can
bad
fix it
in a way
later.
that it's that's always been bad. The world has ebbed and flowed.
If you look at much bigger spans of time,
Yeah,
it
if
doesn't need to be everything's over kind of speaking. Yeah.
exactly, and not even that big of times. Again, as I say it all the time, a lot of this stuff is Reagan forward. So I'm much more
And we've
optimistic
come to
about the
better
general
times
state of
since
the world.
Reagan. Sure.
Um, Climate change has a hard clock. so so
In
when
a
I
in a
doom
very
scroll,
unreversible way.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
like you get to a point where like it hits a critical point and it basically just becomes a negative feedback loop and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Um, and
Mm.
small plug, I do want to say that Joe Biden passed the most comprehensive climate change legislation in the history of the world, and nobody gave a fuck.
Shout out.
But so a lot of my doom scrolly stuff is not even Israel. A lot of my doom scrolly stuff is climate change. Like
Mm.
I have a Twitter feed and it's like climate change, climate change, climate change. Because it's like
Yeah.
Alvin's gonna click on the fucking MIT like climate like institute like fucking list or whatever.
We'll show
So
more. Yeah.
some of it is algorithm. That being said, I'm not gonna gaslight you. I do still think it's an imbalance
mhm,
with with like the way Israel Palestine conflict gets even reported on in mainstream media versus like the
yeah,
Epstein file. So again, not trying to gaslight you, but I do think it's something to the
Yeah.
algorithm.
Some, yeah. I think
yeah,
maybe all of them are true. Like, no, you know what? Because another thing, even in conversation, like in person, like and it's hard to compare people to people, because if you're saying there's regular Epstein protests, that is a pleasant surprise to me. But there are things that people are like kind of hungry to talk about when you have a dinner party conversation, or you're randomly talking to somebody in line or something, or you pass by a construction site and you overhear, two construction workers yapping about something. It's like there are things that come up repeatedly, and a lot of times it's identity politics bullshit. Sometimes it's Palestine shit. Very rarely is it Epstein shit. Or less, it seems.
Really? That's so crazy, because like that's so
Sometimes,
interesting.
different people.
Yeah. And I think like that's also kind of where the algorithm comes in. Maybe like the algorithm, because say for instance, like my algorithm is more Epstein shit than Iran shit, or like climate change shit. You know what I'm saying? Like my algorithm is more like Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas y'all's aren't.
I mean, to be fair, I was talking about in person, but
and even in person. So like even my personal algorithm, like I have conversations and like with people about that.
I like that personal algorithm.
But the I mean, like at work, we was talking about like the war in Iran, but it was like very surface level, like fucked up. But we still
it's almost like a sports conversation.
Yeah, but we had like an in-depth conversation about this whole thing with exactly. But we had an in-depth conversation about like Epstein, and it was like a round table of just shit. It was just like, yo, the fucking thing about Wayfair with the Epstein files, like they was like, using children. Oh my God. They
the sunglasses?
Conspiracy theory like some years ago, but it ended up being true. As from the Epstein files, they was basically using Wayfair to traffic children, and they would name
the sunglasses.
No, Wayfair.
Oh,
like
what is Wayfair?
The site for like furniture, like where you can buy like furniture online. It's kind of like
okay. I didn't know about that. Yeah,
or whatever. Or IKEA. Like think about IKEA online.
Yeah,
but Wayfair, like they would basically use Wayfair as a way to traffic children, and they would name the furniture or like the items, like it could be like a fucking drawer, a desk drawer.
I heard about that, and that's real.
They would name the item after the kid that got kidnapped, and it like a fucking like a file cabinet could be like listed for $13,000. The Alyssa. I
remember this whole conspiracy theory 100%. I remember this. Yeah, and it was like different details about it, meant different attributes of the person, of the child that had been enslaved or was being trafficked.
Yeah, so like these are the conversations that are happening in my algorithm, online and personally, kind of. Not every day personally, but still, like these are the things that's not being talked about maybe a lot with y'all. But that's so crazy, like how that works in tandem. Give me 1 second. Let me give you a victory screech real quick. Thank you so much, Stinker Poo.
Victory screech.
Yeah. Also, not to take away from your overall point, the Wayfair stuff in the Epstein file is literally just one receipt where he purchased $8,000 worth of stuff. It actually doesn't confirm that theory. Just because we're live. Just
big facts. You don't know shit.
Please fact check shit, because I feel like it's a lot of Epstein stuff that's
not proven.
But it doesn't say that it's. Let me take a less hardline stance. It doesn't say that it doesn't confirm the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
It doesn't mean that they weren't doing shit.
There is a receipt where he was involved with Wayfair, and that is fairly coincidental considering the fact that Wayfair is effectively like a budget furniture brand, and the man was worth like 500 million. You know what I mean? So it's like
a little strange.
Yeah. All alleged. We don't.
He also seems so connected that it feels like. Yeah, because I do feel there's a lot of stuff in Epstein files where it's like, all right, we've jumped straight to like everybody involved whose name is in there is evil. And it's like, from my understanding, this motherfucker was so connected and powerful that it's like he was having he was funding research and doing all kinds of shit. So all kinds of different people were. So you do have to read through the specifics, but a lot of the specifics are horrific.
Bro.
Like there are some
people way.
Yeah, there are some people where I'm like, their story makes sense. Like I know, like Chris Tucker, for example, or like Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Like there are people who are like, okay, you were very tangential in this situation, and you just had some dealings with him, and like it got mentioned, there are some people who their dealings were more ingrained, long-standing and they were actually at the island, that seems a little bit
Yeah.
weirder to me. So I'm thinking in
Requires
the
more
Bill Gates,
investigation.
the Bill Gates, the Bill Clintons, like that seems more like
Something was going on.
that seems more like something than say Chris Tucker, as an example.
Yeah, I agree. And I think even, you know, you kind of go, okay, where do we want to focus on investigating more shit? Because even shit that looks a little bit weird, it's like, okay, cool, let's figure out what the exact facts are. Well, but then again, it's kind of like, because somebody else did make this point, which I kind of am sympathetic towards, which is like, there's so much evil shit that's gotten away with that it's like, I would probably rather be like overly, you know, fucking punitive on the people on the list than under. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm quite sympathetic to that stance.
I agree, and the reason why I agree is because a lot of the stuff that came out, people were associating with him after he was a sex offender.
Exactly. And
So
I'm
it's not like,
you know,
so it's not like this was a chill guy. I just knew him, and then
he was a
man, now we
financier.
found
We
out.
don't know yet.
Yeah, it was like, no, the motherfucker's a registered sex offender, and I kind of don't give a fuck because he has a cool island and like it's connected. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm kind of leaning more toward that direction too.
I mean, because for me, I give maybe a little bit, not grace, but I'm just like, people were still making records with Diddy well after so much of this stuff was known. And I don't think that having Diddy produce your record is the same thing as you being a sex trafficker. I think there's permitting a thing, and then there's actually doing a crime, and those are actually quite different things, especially when we think about how often power consolidates with people who are fucked up. Like, lots of people that we admire were still making movies with Epstein after there were already accusations, but well before Me Too had happened. And it's like, yeah, because do you want to make a movie or not? You know? But I think that those folks have gotten away with this shit for so long that I'm like, if Bill Gates didn't do something but accidentally gets caught up, I mean, shit, you know what I'm saying? Break a few eggs is almost kind of my thinking.
And that, Weinstein, Epstein, Weinstein.
What did I say?
You said
oh,
Epstein.
sorry, I meant to say Weinstein. Yeah,
that was easier thing. No, I'm with you on that. Normally, I would kind of have a little bit of pushback, but this shit is just so vile and nasty that
if it was something different, more individual, I'd be more of the innocent till proven guilty. Let's have a conversation. Shit. For this one, I'm more like, fuck it. Like,
anyway, because this it's just so violent. That's there. I wish I had a video that I saw on TikTok a while ago that broke down Ghislaine Maxwell's relationship, like who her father was, and like her sister, like
shit.
family. Yeah, exactly. Why did he have so many? Like, he had all these spies at his funeral. Like, they was
massage
the whole
shit.
Family was the whole family was on some shit. The whole fucking family.
What are the odds? Yeah.
And it was literally some shit that you would see like they would make TV shows out of these people's lives. Pretty much. Like,
what you mean?
What was his business? His business was like
an interior decorator or some shit like that. It was something, or like a book publisher, I think, maybe.
I think so. Yeah, something with the magazine or something, or like newspaper, like book. Yeah, it was like a publishing company, something like that. But that whole thing was like a front for all sorts of different shit that they could get their hands on. Evil shit. But yeah. All right. Y'all want to talk about something a little more lighthearted?
Sure.
We got time?
Always. Yeah. I'm good.
Anybody
got having this as well?
Swig water real quick.
Yeah, okay. Good. Let's see what else. What was on here that was interesting? We got Terrence Howard talking about his like how he talked his way out of Iron Man. We got Gen Z men want babies, but their women don't. The DIY sperm donator. What things do you want in a partner from relationship, like relationally? Jealous friends. The eye brain cell shit. That's kind of Timothy Chalamet versus ballet. That's kind of been doing around, at least in my stupid algorithm. Adults not wanting kids. Shia LaBeouf on his arrest incident. Yeah. And The Boys season 5. I don't know. Figure that. Let me see.
The
yeah,
relationship
I
shit
do like
is
the
probably
Terrence Howard thing a
lightest.
little bit. Say again.
I said the relationship shit is probably the lightest, but Terrence Howard is also pretty light if y'all want to do something lighter.
I really don't have
Yeah.
much to say about Terrence Howard with like that whole
Me
episode.
neither. Me neither.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. What was the one you said?
I said the relationship topic that you called out was
Like relational things that you want in a partner as distinct from kind of like checkbox things. Is that the
Yeah.
one?
yeah,
Yeah,
that
okay,
seems
let's see.
lighter versus the field. I did do some research on the kid situation, but I don't know if that's a
Oh,
light
Gen
topic.
Z and men. Yeah, I mean, even
Or
this
people just not having
relational
kids.
one. Yeah. Oh, true. I feel like even the relational one, like this, could be serious depending on
I mean,
how each of our
you know,
personalities
it's a
take
hell of
this
a
shit.
lot lighter
But
than I mean, hey, if it goes that way, it goes that way.
yeah, true. Fair enough. Hey, look, I'm game. All right, I'm pulling it up. Let's see. And the kid, because the kids one is the same way, where it's hard to steer the ship, man. It's hard to steer the ship, man. I was having some conversation on Twitter, and it just turns into like, see, that's the problem with niggas. And I'm like, damn, shit. I was
Like,
trying. I was so close to. I was
I was
trying to.
trying to extend the olive branch and make sure I understood.
Yeah, man. Fuck these olives. I'm allergic. Oh shit. Fuck. Sorry, I didn't know.
All right, so okay, all right, my fault.
Let me see.
This one thing my therapist told me to do changed the entire game for me. She asked me to write a list of all the things that I was looking for in a partner. And when I came back to her the next session, my list was things like is ambitious, really values family, is attractive, all things like this. And she said, none of these things say anything about how you feel with him, about how he treats you, about how you are relationally. And she said, come back to me with a list of only relational things. Examples are when I'm upset about something, his first reaction is to pull me in and get closer versus getting defensive. Or when I'm scared to do something, he makes me feel safe and he encourages me to do the thing that I'm scared of. He inspires me to be a better person. He inspires me to work harder. He pushes me in my career. And that was finally when I got to a list of this is the man that I want to be with. And I started breaking down the superficial, surface level traits that I was looking for. The more crystal clear you get about how you want to feel in a relationship, the less you are blinded by superficial things that do not actually impact your long-term happiness. Think to yourself, is this how I want to feel in a relationship? Or does he just check some boxes off? Is he just a good person? Does he just have a good job? Is he just a good collection of traits? Or does he feel the way that you have always wanted to feel in a relationship? When I was single,
All right, let me just go ahead and say this. I'm gonna toot my own horn. I have literally been saying this exact same shit for the last 3 years. I'm glad somebody that maybe vocalized it better or orated it better than I could is saying it, and hopefully it reaches the target audience to help people shift their mindset when it comes to dating and looking for a partner.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I'm with that because one of the things I was thinking of is going through like what would be on my list because oftentimes like when at least when I'm forming my list, there are things that are kind of like stand-ins for it's like I want somebody who has like a decent job because that's kind of an indicator of type A personality, which is a thing that I like in a partner.
Proxy
That
measures.
she's like
Yeah.
yeah, she's well organized. She knows how to regulate her emotions because it's hard to hold down. Well, it can be quite hard to hold down a consistent job and get your hair done and have your home clean and all those kinds of things if you're constantly going through crises. So that's kind of like okay, cool. She's a doctor with a nice house and da da da. That means okay, she's probably put together mentally. But I think going straight to the source and going, what thing am I looking for? I like one thing that came to my mind was like I think I like when it comes to the way conflict is done. And you learn a lot about that as you go through relationships, like how a person brings it up or doesn't bring it up and how they walk through stuff. I think the people that I've felt the best with and have learned the most from as well, because I'm not saying that I necessarily even meet this standard, is someone who brings shit up quick, is willing to walk through it and doesn't go straight to like anger or accusation as their first thing, and is able to kind of go like, hey, this is a thing that da 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 da, da, and then we can go into problem solving mode. But I think I also, and this is maybe contradictory, I think I do like a person who's able to express their vulnerability during that conversation, which can be hard. Like, here's the thing that happened. Here's why it hurt me. Like, it has emotionally impacted me, and I want us to continue on. And so I feel this way. What can we do to sort this? That constellation of shit, I'm like, yeah. Those are the people that I really, that's the thing I look for and aspire to as well, low key. I struggle a little bit with the vulnerability part.
Being vulnerable?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I think there's reason there. So I get it. But you got to do the thing, because you should be able to be vulnerable. And if you have like the right person that you gel with, that'll make you feel safe and comfortable. Then being vulnerable, like, it still might be a little bit of a hill to get over. But once you get over that hill, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you found your person, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? Being vulnerable with them shouldn't be an issue.
That's part of it. And that said, I think that at least in my specific experience,
Yeah.
a lot more of that is probably self-inflicted than it is from the other person. But it's also hard to know, because it's like, if you haven't given that, then you don't know how it would be received. But most of my experiences with that kind of thing have not been negative. And it's more the story that I've told myself, which, to your point, there are reasons that I told myself that story. So it's not fully just self-inflicted. I just, I shot myself in the head and was like, oh, who did it?
Yeah.
There's a system of things that have been taught to me.
Yeah.
But it's less to do with the individual in front of me. I think most of the women that I've dated have been like relatively open, and like they want to know, like, okay, cool, I did this thing that made you hurt. How do you, being able to say the reason that whatever you did hurt me is because I love you and I want to be cared for by you, is a thing that takes vulnerability. And I've held off in situations where I don't think that would have caused my partner to look at me any differently. And I value that in a partner when she's like, hey, because if not, it feels good, but it's like, it solidifies the conversation, and the reason that we're even having this is because we want each other. And that's a great starting point to have any kind of conflict combo.
Can you say that last part again? If you even want each other, well,
The reason that I think expressing that vulnerability, or expressing a conflict or a thing that you need to work through with a partner, like, it's you were late when we were supposed to have dinner with our parents, and that upset me because it embarrassed me, and it made me feel like you didn't, want me or value me, and you don't put me into your schedule. Cool. Adding in the vulnerability of, and I love you and I want to feel that way because because how you feel about me is very important to me. Like, adding that vulnerability of, and I'm unsure about whether or not you want me. Adding that vulnerability in is a great starting point for conflict convos, because it goes, the reason we're having this disagreement is because we love one another and want to be loved by one another, which is kind of what our argument in a relationship is, but gets forgotten real quick. As soon as you get into that shit I'll be talking about,
yeah.
like, you completely forget that the reason this even matters is because I deeply, wish that you'll hold my heart gingerly,
For sure. And I think that's the tough part, man. That's
hard.
That shit is tough, because like, you never know. Because again, like, whole like marriage in like a certain amount of time, like, you never know how somebody's going to react to your actual emotions, or react to you being vulnerable. Like, is this even a safe space? Because you could be with somebody for a year, and just because y'all haven't had like any conflict, like, everything's been cool, everything's been fine. Like, that 1 year, like, oh my God, I'm in love. But year number 2 come around, then like some shit happened. And then like the first thing they do might be to weaponize your emotions against you, like weaponize like, your vulnerabilities against you. And then all of a sudden you don't feel so safe, like you're not so sure. Not saying that you should just like up and run like at the first sign of trouble, at the very first sign of trouble, but there are certain things that you got to be able to work through and know about your person, and say like, okay, I really do feel comfortable with sharing the rest of my life with somebody else. And that is a huge thing to ask of somebody. And again, I think we literally talked about this last week, but a year just off GP, if that's what you want, hey, it could happen. It could happen. But for me, I think for the men on this panel, a year of GP to say, hey, you need to make a decision that I'm going to be the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. That's crazy. That's a lot. That is a fucking lot. And that's a red flag to me. I'm like, I'm out. I'm like, nope, can't do it. Not gonna do it.
He said the thing. He said the thing.
Yeah. Press the button, bro. Press the button.
Hold on. Give me one second. Give me one second.
It's a red flag.
Another thing on my list will probably be that I like a lot in a partner is that not only does she have traits that I want in myself and she could teach me shit, but like that she's good at breaking down her thought processes about shit. I think I like that a lot. Like being able to go, here's why I did this. Here's why I made this move in my career, or here's why I did this thing with my homegirl. And you know, this is the way that we got through this solution. That's a thing that I value a lot, which is kind of related to the type A thing. I love a woman who can problem solve, you know what I mean? And that we can rapidly problem solve. Those are things I would say that's very high on my list and makes me, I like that a lot. Or she can go like, oh yeah, cool. We're cooking whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, the reason we do this is this. And I learned this from this, you know, country or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever tried this thing? You know, put me on the new stuff, but like is good at explaining why she does what she does. That's another thing on my list in this category.
She does what she does. Interesting. So you can like understand. Oh, that makes sense to me actually. Because like, so you can understand her mechanics, like the mechanics of her mind.
Yes. And also
her mind will no longer be an enigma.
No longer be that too, but it's more like because I like learning shit. So yeah. I like being better for knowing my partner, you know? So she's like, oh, I read this thing, and the reason that this is interesting is because of this. Or like I remember we had one partner, I would watch the way that she would approach goals. Like she would be like, so she would do shit like, okay, cool. Like, and this is basic shit. Lots of people do this, but they don't do it super effectively. She'd be like, all right, cool. Next year, I'm going on a trip to Spain. In order to do that comfortably, I need $10,000. So what I'm going to do now is move back in with my parents for 2 months so that I get rid of that rent bill. I'm going to get this second job. I'm going to cut my expenses back in this way. And then I'm going to sign up for frequent flyer miles because I know I got to fly with the job so that the flight is whatever. And then in order for me to do this other job, I have to get this certification. So I'm going to do all this shit now. And then just watching her tick those off and make those lists and make that preparation, you learn a lot from that. Mm-hmm. So I admire that because then I'm like, oh, shit. I'll do that. I like, why did you do this thing? And then she's like, oh yeah, because this, and this, you know? And then I use, you know, like I remember the woman who taught me how to use Reddit for the first time. She just walked me through, here's how you make it fun to use. So that's what I'm kind of talking about.
Yeah. I think I was kind of getting at the same thing. I was also being like slightly, you know, like joking, but like you're very analytical. Of course, like creative as well, but like you also have like a very analytical, like process oriented, structured kind of way of thinking at times. So when it comes to like that sort of communication from a partner, I can definitely see you like being all 100%. In. If she can like 100%. articulate her thoughts and processes like to you, like, like what
100%, 100%.
My entire life?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I love that because it makes shit smooth. You know what I mean? A lot of times, like, and it also makes shit like another extension is it makes shit that doesn't need to be a fight, not a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember another situation. There's another. I mean, I feel like I've not struggled to find this because there's 3 different women that I'm talking about. But I guess it's just this is who I've picked to, you know what I'm saying? So it's sample bias or whatever. But it's a very easy thing to pick. But I've learned that I value it, and it's part of why I don't know if I'm picking it. I don't know. Maybe it's they are picking it because I'm annoying as fuck to somebody that it isn't that way, probably. But I remember we're in the airport somewhere trying to. What's up? Tell me. No, say whatever the joke is, so we can get.
It's chats.
Huh?
Mickey from the Nitty said, "Brother wants someone who makes sense."
That's all I'm saying. I just want a girl who makes sense.
I just want a woman who listens.
Which
It's
is
a good thing
which is-
you framed that the right way. You were like, oh, it's not hard to find, because then you just like, I just want one of these women that makes sense, man.
Yeah, I just want
These
one
women
that's
don't
not
make sense.
crazy.
I just need to find one. If I find one that makes
Yeah.
sense,
These hoes crazy as shit. I'm trying. That's what I want is a non-crazy one. If they make it in that model, yeah, no, it's very common. Like it's more. I'm not gonna say it's more than not, but it's the same percentage as every other group of people, on the planet. I'm type A, organized, articulate. What can organize a thought, can problem solve rapidly. That's one of the things that I value. Because we're going through an airport and it's like, okay, cool, we're late for this flight. We're trying to figure out where do we want to go when we land on the other side. Cool. I'm doing one thing. I'm, getting our boarding passes or whatever. And she's like pulled up quickly. Okay, here are 3 options for places. Which of these 3 looks interesting to you? And I'm like, cool. I like that one. Cool. Boom. We've collectively now solved the thing quickly. You know what I think I also like? I think part of what I'm saying is I like a person who can pick a restaurant quick. Not specifically that thing. Like I don't care about that specific thing. But that kind of thing.
I feel you. Because that kind of bleeds into other things. If they can make decisions quickly without it being too deep into the weeds, is that kind of
or if we can together, because there's also a weird gender thing. If a person has decision fatigue and she wants me to pick a thing because that makes her feel cared for, I have no issue with that. But the capacity to be able to make decisions quickly and well, or for us to be able to decide who's going to be the strong one now. Like when she's like, I don't want to think about what we're doing for dinner. Where we going? I'm like, cool. Now we're this is us thinking together. Cool. The ball's in my court. Cool. I got it. Hey, baby, I'm tired. Ball's in her court. Just being able to pass that cognitive football easily between the two of us, I like a lot.
Yeah. How does it make you feel though?
It makes me feel at ease, for one. It makes me feel like I'm not walking on eggshells, and it feels like I can rapidly go through what are some of the hardest kind of conflicts without being scared of oh shit, we about to have a, whatever. But it also makes me feel, I don't know what the word is, because I've actually kind of said 3 or 4 different traits as we've been talking about this, but I think her being the kind of thinker that I admire, what does that feel like? It feels like I have a secret. I don't know what it feels. Yeah, what does it feel like? That's how I'm struggling to put a feeling to it. It feels like I'm learning. I don't know it feels good, but what's the emotion there? I don't know. I need a color wheel.
Content. I know, right? Yeah. Because just throwing some things out there. Content.
Yeah.
Safe. Pleased. Satisfied.
Maybe satisfied a little bit, but not. Yeah. Excited. Wait. Oh shit! I almost had it. Fuck. What's the feeling of when you achieve something, or you learn a thing that you're going to get to use? If you learned to buy Bitcoin and then it went up and you're like, damn, I did the right thing. What that feeling is. Say again.
Adulation.
What does that word mean?
I don't know. I feel like, but I know I use it in the right context.
Okay, yeah.
I know I use it in the right context.
Admiration is one of the feelings associated here, but that's more outward focusing, and that is part of it, but that's not the whole thing. What is it? I know there's a word for whatever the feeling is, but it feels like I don't know.
Extreme. Okay, so adulation means extreme, excessive, or uncritical admiration, flattery, and worship directed towards someone, often celebrities or leaders.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so not that.
Okay.
It feels. You know what it feels like? It feels like I accidentally learned the answers to a test that I'm about to take beforehand. That's what it feels like. It feels like, oh, I've got some secret keys, and that feels. Yeah, fuck, nice, nigga. I don't know. Yeah, emotions is
like
hard.
biting into a York peppermint patty.
It's a little bit like biting into a York peppermint patty, is what I'm saying.
And now all of a sudden you're skiing down the slopes of the Alps.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
With the wind in your face, snow in your eyes.
Yes, it's kind of like what it feels like to chew 5 gum. A little bit.
100%.
Absolutely. Good one, Albert. Good one.
How about y'all? Because I feel like I've said 5 or 6.
How does what? Having
the initial question of from the initial topic, what kinds of relational things about how a partner makes us feel or how they treat us if we're taking all of the kind of box ticky, placeholder, trying to figure out something else, life accomplishments, look stuff, and we're just taking all of that off the table and going the ways that they behave and treat us and
Yeah.
think what's on that list.
So this exercise isn't new to me. 'Cause I mean, I'm in therapy, and like one of the
Yeah,
things,
yes, sir. Let them know.
or you know what I'm saying, I'm ready to go working home.
Okay, it's a new flex. It's a new
You know
flex.
what I mean? But like one of the exercises that also, like, my therapist also did have me kind of like a similar exercise, but I actually did have things of like, what I wanted my partner to make me, how I wanted my partner to make me feel. So, gold star for me, bitch. But the other thing though is she had me do like another exercise. It was like what do you want? What are you willing to compromise on? What do you want in a relationship? What are you willing to compromise on? And what are your non-negotiables, like boundaries? So it's like those three things, like figure that out. On top of like that thing, that exercise that old girl was talking about. So my other thing is I want to feel safe and seen in my relationship. Like I want to be able to be vulnerable and not feel like less of a man or less of anything. I want to feel comfortable, but I also want to be able to do that for my person as well. You know what I mean? So like, anything I'm asking, I want to be able to give in return, or at least some like aspect of it, because my mindset my mindset is kind of like 50-50, but like not in like the social media terms. It's more so in terms of reciprocity. That's what I kind of like mean by like 50-50, is just reciprocity. Like I give to you, you give to me, and we do that out of love for one another. And that's kind of like how, I would like for my partnership and relationship to be with my person, the person I would want to spend the rest of my life with as minimum chance of us like getting a divorce. Because you're supposed to only get married once, right? So you know what I mean? I mean,
Many times it takes.
Hey, it could take many times, but the idea of marriage, when you
Is to
say those
finish.
vows, is supposed to be lifelong.
Is that something that you want?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I find my person, of course I want to be with them. Like, yeah, of course. I don't want to fucking. I don't strive for marriage. Like, marriage is not like the end all fucking be all goal. Like, that's just a milestone in the thing. I'll do it. I'll get married. I don't, but that's not the end goal. That's just a milestone. I can't stress that enough. People look at marriage as as a goal. Like, oh, once I get married, then everything's gonna be fine. And they don't think about like after the fact. Is your partner gonna change on you after you get married because like the expectations are different and you didn't notice? Is there a different expectation after marriage? Like,
Do you?
are they gonna stop trying? Like,
True. Do you feel like you could, like, are there any times where you felt like, you know how you sometimes tell that story about the woman who was like, you nutted a bunch and she was like, oh my God, you're such a man, and like what that felt like? Are there any emotional analogs to that when it comes to the, say again?
I said that shit hurt.
What you mean?
You nut a bunch. I'm sorry. I'm saying, I was like, what
Wait,
would
is
you
that's a compliment?
No, I was just thinking about consecutive, like yo, after that third one,
Oh, it does. Yeah, no. Yeah. No, I meant a bunch as in volumetrically, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
repetitively, that's a different thing. Wait,
Yeah,
but you know the thing I'm talking about, right?
when you unleash a fat load.
I'm talking about you specifically, Joshua. Josh, sorry.
What about me? Okay, I missed it.
I'm gonna jump in here, Eddie. I
Okay.
think the example is irrelevant. I think you just
Yeah,
can ask the
yeah,
thing that
yeah.
you want to ask.
Because
Because then we'll talk 20 minutes about the example.
Fair, thank you. Do you? I was trying to incite a particular emotion in your mind to help you with the thing that I was trying to say. No, it's a story you've told multiple. All right, fine.
Okay,
Anyway,
I'm so fucking around.
why you nut lighting me? Are there times where you felt in relationships, even there might have been a situation like of whatever length or level, whatever, where there were specific behaviors that made you feel seen and safe, like really, really specific ones where we were like, oh, she did
okay,
this,
I know
and
the
that
story.
uniquely
I
made me
know what
feel.
you're talking about. Now I know the story you're talking about. That was so long.
You don't be listening to me, man. Yeah, because I see you tune out, and then you act like I'm crazy for you because you missed the first part of the sentence.
But I mean, still, it's like a crazy fucking thing. But yeah, no, like the girl, the girl, yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, like, during the pandemic,
Mm.
this girl, yeah, that
I
was,
like that you set the time period.
rough for a lot of people. But man, the summer
Yeah.
of 2020 was up for you. God damn it.
There
Ooh,
we
that was
go.
a good time. But yeah, but yeah, no, like she definitely, cause yeah, shit. The first time like we had sex again, that shit was like a fucking movie. Our first 3 dates was like movies. Like we had such a raw, great, phenomenal chemistry. Like anytime we got up, like we would be
In sync.
our first date, we was out until like damn near 5 o'clock in the morning. Was not planned at all. Like we was just out talking and
Like,
shit.
how do y'all know the lines? It's just
Oh my
like, well, I'm saying, you saying, you, yeah.
So fast forward a couple days later, the vibes immaculate movie type shit, and she's talkative, like she talks, and I've never experienced this before. And matter of fact, this wasn't even the first date. This wasn't the first time we had sex. I had anyway. But one of the time when I went in raw after it was safe, I had bust, not in her, but it was just there. You know what I'm saying? And like she was just talking shit and just like commenting on like the volume, like, but she was just talking, and I was like, oh my god, I'm in trouble. This girl is gonna break my heart. She gonna devour my soul. I am
Leaving
in
nothing left.
trouble, nigga.
I'm sprung. Yeah. Oof.
But yeah, so yeah, that's that's the story. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I get that. But it hasn't been like that. But it also takes like a certain type of woman, like but you also have to have that chemistry too, that connection for that to even work. Because sometimes, like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking about? Inner monologue, of course. I would never say that out loud.
No, of course, but it could be goofy or whatever. And yeah, I guess extending that, concept, like that feeling of what that felt like to have such a specific behavior link so well and feel so good and seen and all that. Are there other instances of that kind of thing, maybe specifically non-sexual, that made you feel seen and safe in the way you expressed wanting to be seen and safe? Like, because the woman in the video, she was kind of like, I want a man who will support me when I'm going for a promotion. It was these like kind of this particular behavior. I'm wondering if you ever had instances where you were like, damn, bitch, I feel safe and seen. Shit, it's pretty good.
Damn, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I definitely have. I have. I can't think. I can't.
No, that's fair enough.
Crazy how you remember like the bad shit more than you remember the good shit. But it would be doing a disservice to the women in my life, or like past women, to say that I haven't. But right now, I can't think of one specific incident that kind of like that I can like draw from like that whole that sexual encounter to like a non of being seen, emotionally seen. Coworker. I remember now. Yeah, one of my coworkers. She poured a lot of life into me. When I was like kind of like going through like depression. When I kind of like, this was like again like years ago, before the pandemic. But like she poured a lot of life into me and gave me a lot of words of affirmation. Told me a lot of shit, and like actually like saw me as a human being, like not just a guy, not just a man, but like that was just the type of woman that she was. She was just a very like caring, But yeah, definitely her, and that was super platonic. We were just cool.
Yeah, no, I like so. Yeah, so if you were looking, do you think that her style of thing? Obviously, y'all were platonic, and that was, like homie type vibes. But do you think that is a similar kind of thing that you would look for in a partner?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that trait, that sort of trait. Hell yeah. Because I love like words of affirmation.
It was like
I'm
direct
just like,
encouragement. You can do this, that kind of type of
yeah, like
shit.
you got
Or
this. I believe in you. I'm proud of you. I love you. No matter
Mm,
what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just been that, and that type of shit will make a motherfucker move a mountain.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know a lot of people like, and also for like certain reasons, because if you just saying like, oh, I'm proud of you, like that some people take us as you don't have to do anything, or like, you're just good enough, like, or just like just do the absolute bare minimum and I'll be proud of you
Mhm.
anyway. But to the right person, when you say stuff like that, again, like that will make them
Yeah.
move a goddamn mountain for you. Like that will put a battery in their back and like they will,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying, go off.
yeah, that ability to like inspire you to
Hmm.
be your full self.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a great trait that you just
absolutely.
listed. Yeah, the ability to inspire me to be my best self.
Mhm.
I fuck with that. Yeah, Alvin.
Um,
I know hyperintelligence is top of the list, obviously. We'll work
I
on that
think
probably.
I think intelligence is a proxy measure.
Oh, okay,
So
love it. Yes, let's get into it.
no,
Do y'all
yeah,
mind
go
real
ahead.
quick? I do want to just give a quick quick
Yeah,
aside to Kalfani. Forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong, but I found my therapist through Grow Therapy. Grow Therapy. So yeah, go on there. You can find a list of therapists and you can like choose, like they have their profile on there. So you can like at least figure out like who might be a best fit from their profile. And you can like pick and choose. It's no pressure. Like, if you meet one therapist, like you don't have to stick with them. But that's how I found mine. And if you have insurance, they also do take at least Blue Cross Blue Shield. So check into that too. Just got to meet your
real shit.
deductible. Then that should be pretty cheap. But yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. That was a great aside, actually. Um, trying. It took. I've been thinking about it the whole time because it's tough for me to. And I'll just be frank. I find like this kind of conversation to be like the easy stuff. I think my proxy measure checkbox list is the hard stuff. So this is like
Mm.
kind of small potatoes from my perspective. And I've also like never had a problem finding this. So it's
When you say small potatoes, do you mean in terms of being able to find it, or in terms of being able to articulate it, or something else?
being able to find it. Like it's
Okay. Oh
just,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I see what you're
and I
saying.
think
It's hard to
it's
find hyper intelligence, but it's easy to find the things that it's a proxy for.
no, because I'm trying not to name things that have direct proxies because then I'm just gonna, because I'm trying to, because if
Okay.
it's hard for me to decouple the proxy from the thing, because that's what I've been struggling with articulating this.
Oh, okay.
What I've come up with is I don't want to ever be with anybody who thinks that I'm going to take care of them
Mm.
solely. Like we run a mutual ship, like we're a true 50-50 kind of situation. Like one of the many consistent things that I've heard that immediately turn me off from a woman is they'll say something like, I feel like if I was with you, I wouldn't have to worry about anything. And I'm like, that's an immediate red flag.
You're gonna have to worry about
Like,
half of everything.
you're gonna have to worry about half of everything.
Yeah.
You're going to have to worry about things. And like I would never like
That's unsurprising that women would say that to you. In that,
yeah, like the fact that somebody would say that to me is like one of the most unattractive things in the history
Yeah.
of things. For somebody to say that to me, it's like I'm immediately just like,
So,
so I want somebody who's largely self-sufficient, who doesn't really need me, but understands that like I'm here for them. Like, for example, like you don't need me to pay half the mortgage, but I'm here and I'm paying half the mortgage type shit.
yeah, lighten the load, but not take the entirety of it is the thing that's being looked for.
I would also say that, and this took me a while to kind of figure out because I don't think I was always this kind of partner, but I don't like it when people impede upon my interests. or try to like belittle my interest. So like
Okay.
I always think of the examples of how there's the running gags of like when I try to get on the game, my girlfriend be acting funny, or the A Different World clip where old girl was getting mad at Dwayne about trying to watch the basketball game. So
really, yeah.
no, you're not like I was watching basketball before you were here, before I was with you. I was playing, I was playing Final Fantasy 14 before you were, before I was with you. And like my interests have to fit into the context of our relationship. And I know sometimes that can be easier said than done, depending on somebody's, level of hobbies and like all that kind of shit. And I have also like been in a situation, especially in my youth, where like I wasn't necessarily supportive of partners,
Yeah.
habits that weren't really hurting them. You know what I mean? It was things that they like to do that they enjoy, and I would just be like, oh man, that's kind of stupid. So I had to
like the person
grow
or whatever.
to be
It's
the
like, yeah, it's fine.
exactly. I had to grow to be the person that I want to find in myself. And then I would also probably say, man, that's probably it. Everything else is checkboxy. Because again, just like I think saying like, oh, there's a good person is like, oh, okay, like like yeah, okay, whatever. What does that
I think
mean?
you can get it specific though with that.
Yeah,
because I think the one thing that she did really well that I liked was that because for instance, I've often said like kindness is something that I like, or I like somebody who's kind, but it's like that looks really, really specific. Like, what does she do when I'm feeling bad? How does she treat wait staff? And maybe you could say that those are now proxies, but I think dividing between those is irrelevant. I think
no, I don't think they are. When I get into the minutia of stuff like saying like, well, they need to be a good person, or even they need to be like an intelligent person. I think being a good person, quote unquote, or being even an intelligent person is so many very small things that it's hard to say like, well, this is what I mean, even by like what a good person is.
Things, altogether.
I'm saying you're probably saying a fucking 1,000 different things. It's almost to the point where it's like I know it when I see it territory. So I think it's very difficult to articulate. But if I had to distill it to some things that I can even attempt to decouple strictly from things that I'm saying is proxy, it would be those two things.
Yeah. And like honestly, I think because what I really loved about her example is like you could just say there are 1,000 things that it is, but here's some things that I've noticed, like it's not trying to make a comprehensive list necessarily. It's going like, oh, I like when they this thing. And it's like that's one of 1,000 things that would be part of the constellation of she's intelligent or she's whatever the other shit was, like kind of a thing. But what I wanted to ask about what you said with the hobbies thing is, what does that look like when done well? Like when a woman's engagement with your interests is like ideal, is that a relatively passive sort of like she kind of just gives me space to do my thing, or is there an active behavior that's happening there that feels whatever feeling you attach to this?
Passive, just let me do my thing without huffing and puffing.
Yeah, okay. And for independence, same question.
I don't know if that fits into the same passive active dichotomy, but I feel like some examples that I could give is like I'm not, again, the example that I gave where like I wouldn't have to worry about anything. Like, no, you have to worry about things. I feel like that's the clearest like I can be without getting into too much minutia. Like,
you got to use your mind. You got to think about shit, girl. Maybe not worry, but
I mean, or like, there's the example like, was like the Atlanta black couple that does like the couples like reels and shit, where like she's like I think it's what Chan and Jamal or some shit, and she has this thing where she says, when I'm with my man, he's doing all this like calculus about where the exes are and all this kind of shit, and like I can just be like do in my mind.
I've seen a few of those.
I've lived that shit one. Yeah, I've lived that before.
Yeah,
No,
I guess I
you
was.
you need to pay attention. We're both looking at exits. We're both understanding our surroundings. I'm not babysitting a child.
Fair, yeah. I think the and I'll leave it at this follow up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to stop a girl from walking out in the middle of the goddamn street.
Street. She's just not paying attention at all.
I just brain turned the fuck off. Like what?
I'm gonna die.
Like
okay.
anyway.
So Alvin likes a bitch that looks both ways before she crosses the street. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Don't we all?
Okay.
Don't
If
we
you-
all? That's a good
Okay, cool. I was just trying to distill it down into a positive action. Okay, I think that kind of answers my question. Fair enough.
Like a bitch that look both ways.
Yeah. I think I was going like, or was curious about one of the things when I see this, I'm like, okay, this is a person who is switched on in a way that is, they're a full human being and they intend to continue being a full human being, even in partnership with me, which might take the form of, we walk into a restaurant and she also notes where the exits are. That's a bad example, but just, I guess I'm curious about the framing of it as a positive, as an active set of behaviors. But if it can't be, that's fine as well. That's, no stress.
So I'm in my mind that so one, I don't think any of these things that I've stated fit largely into an active passive like dichotomy kind of situation, because I think they are largely states of being, which means kind of in some
Negative
situations
positive
you
is maybe
are
more what I was pointing at, but
you
yeah.
are, you aren't. But I think from that perspective, before I even get to that point, now that you've kind of reframed it a little bit for me, I don't even understand the negative positive kind of thing. Like I don't even understand what you mean by that. No,
are you asking me to? Yeah, meaning the difference between this person doesn't do XYZ thing versus they do this thing. So, like in the linguistic or grammatical sense, negative versus positive. They don't do this would be a negative statement describing behavior, and they do this would be a positive framing of a behavior.
So and that's okay. So it does fit in at least from my perspective, it does fit into the same like active passive kind of thing. I don't think that those things necessarily fit into this. It's not doing something. Sometimes it's a state of being. It's like that's who you are. So I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm saying I can't do it. I'm just saying how I can be clearer with that than what I've done.
Yeah. I like this one. That's a lot of times what it is. Because I do feel like sometimes with the hobby shit, it's like this is a time management thing. It's like, when do we allocate me time? And I feel like I want to be with you, but you want to do something else, and that those things aren't getting communicated clearly. Or if your hobby is making it to where it's like there's other shit that needs to get done, and you're doing your hobby, and it's like it's dishes. You know what I'm saying? So that is a thing that people do sometimes.
I will say this. I have went on a trip with a woman and spent 72 hours with them, just us, hugged up and shit. Got back to the city in the morning, spent the whole day with them, came home, washed dishes, cleaned the whole apartment, did all of our laundry and shit, folding all that kind of shit.
Came on.
And then sat down and said, I'm finna watch the game. He's just always watching basketball. All you do is watch basketball.
Not always.
The only thing you do is
there you go again.
Basketball. All you do is watch basketball.
Damn, you can't pay attention to nothing. So you telling me you can't sustain 10 consecutive days of not? That's hilarious.
Oh, here this nigga go again. I thought it was
that's real shit. That shit was happening like for real. And I'm like, this just oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, that would have been it. Oh yeah, I would have killed me for it. That would have killed me so bad. I'm like, oh no,
what is going on there? Is it just because it's like if you had a hobby that she found interesting, do you think it would be different? Or is it just because it's like, I don't even understand how a person could like this? Is that part of it? Like, what's going on when a person goes, you enjoy this, but I don't get it, so you're just like wasting time or something? What's going on in their head, you know?
I don't know, man. I think it is something like that. It's like, I think what it really boils down to is like, because again, I've been there. That's why like I'm not hard on women that do that now. Like I get it. I've done it. I think it's very much like this is a stupid hobby, so I don't think you should be wasting time with the stupid hobby. It's not about like
Ever,
you spending time
essentially,
with me. Yeah, it's not like you about spending time with me. It's not about all this kind of thing. It's like I
Yeah.
view this thing as a waste of time. It's unattractive that you are wasting time. And
Yeah,
again,
I think
I
that's-
have done that before, so like I get it, but I think we all got to grow out of it.
I like
Like,
Banjo
Yes.
Baby
No,
real
same.
quick.
Same.
I like
100%.
Banjo Baby real quick. Hold on. Shout out.
Thank you for the Grammy.
His ass in the house. Do something productive, nigga. Goddamn. If your ass on that game like that, you better be goddamn streaming, getting that capital and that revenue up, nigga. Do something productive with it. But hey, the idea of it, like, yo, man, like shit. If you got his hobbies, if you taking care of business, if he giving you attention, that shit, man, goddamn, let him have his goddamn hobbies. If it's game, sports, and vice versa.
I feel like, especially as Black people, I feel like you got to have the capacity to be like, I'm not being productive at all. I'm not making no money for nobody else. I'm just living life in order to enjoy it. I'm eating grapes. I'm frolicking. I'm sitting in the grass. This is what living is. I'm not trying to, and shout out to Boyle because I think this comment stuck out to me. It's like, just to give the other side, it's like, I'm not trying to build no kingdoms at all. I'm just trying to be a regular person.
Yeah, that part.
I'm not trying to build nothing.
Hey, yo,
You know what I mean?
and that, and like, and this is I'm not dogpiling or like, what's Boel?
Yeah,
Not
this
dogpiling
conversation.
on you. Like, this ain't like a, thing like that. But like that shit, like, just think about that. That's a fucking lot to ask of somebody. He could be building a goddamn kingdom while he could have been playing this game. Oh yeah. I can just get in my fucking car, get some wood, find some Mexicans at Home Depot, and build a goddamn kingdom out of it.
It's the kingdom. Oh my God.
Yo. I mean, I get the analogy, but like, yo, that is a lot. That is a fucking lot. Sometimes a nigga just want to just chill. You are already at work. You're taking care of your bills. You're paying your bills. You're doing that. You're doing this. You're doing that. But no, if I'm on the game for an hour, hey, bro, why ain't you about your business, nigga? Why ain't you out there building this kingdom? Why ain't you got those royal subjects?
Yeah. Yeah. Where's your court? Where are your gestures, brother? Get it together.
Come
Where's your
on,
moat? You don't have crocodiles, a drawbridge, nothing.
Nothing. A moat? A moat, nigga?
Come on. Knights, armor, nothing. Come on, man. Yeah, I think that it comes down to, and maybe it ties into what Alvin was saying of just like ambition, and wanting a partner who is ambitious. And if you spend your time on relaxation a lot, that you're not ambitious. But I think, as I've said many times before, I think it's okay to not be ambitious, and I think that most people aren't, and probably shouldn't bother being ambitious. To the extent that it makes, if it doesn't actually make you and the people in your community happy, it's okay to be like, yeah, we've done what we need to do to live a life and draw from it emotional sustenance. Wealth and power and ambition and legacy are secondary to connection. But yeah, with on the other side being like a man who's like, man, she always getting her nails done, or she's always doing Pilates or whatever her hobby might be. And the ways that, that kind of gets downplayed. Yeah, I do think it's like, I don't know if I would say it's the sense that it's unattractive. It's just kind of like, that's some dumb shit. Why is she even doing that? Why is she spending money on that?
I've done that. I've been that nigga.
Yeah, that has to be grown out of. Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
and is that what it was for you?
It was something very much along those lines. So like, I'm not trying to be holier than thou when I say that. Like I've literally been the pot calling the kettle black before. So I think people just got to understand that, if somebody has a relatively pro-social hobby that's not dealing damage to their life, their livelihood, your relationship, let people go get their nails done if they want that. It doesn't matter if you don't care. Let people play the game.
Collect your Beanie Babies.
Yeah, collect your your Funko Pops or what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, know what I'm saying? Do whatever, do that shit. Like, that's fine. And I think that like people need space with love and relationships to be able to explore that. But you got to grow to that. I wasn't always that nigga.
Yeah, Eckhart Tolle once said, the best love, sometimes the best love that you can give to somebody is space for them to be able to grow, to be able to grow and breathe and to actually be themselves. Just do what the fuck they want. You know, space is love, or can be love. You know. But so we're gonna have to wrap this bitch up in a second. But one thing I did want to actually kind of go back to real quick was Alvin. And it's so interesting because all three of us kind of like got away from the initial subject of the thing of that video in terms of how we want our partners to make us feel. All three of us kind of like listed attributes at first, and then we had to delve deeper down and say how does it make me feel? So Alvin,
true.
Everything that you said, how would that actually make you feel in that relationship?
Willing to stay in the relationship.
Very adequate.
It's a red flag.
A little bit.
That's the only thing.
He said it makes me feel employed. It makes me feel like I'm gonna stay at this job.
I'm sorry, bro. That shit was crazy. That shit is hilarious. Hey, bro, you ain't got that else? That's it. It's just wanting to stay.
One day. Well, his emotional color wheel got two sides, yes and no.
Right. Okay. All right. Wait a minute. I gotta get one. Okay. All right.
Wait a minute. And one last thing, and I don't want to beat the dead horse here, but it's also like, so.
Oh shit.
There are lots of games that I played at like a pretty like decent clip or whatever. But for example, when Final Fantasy 14 drops an expansion, I pay for early access, and I basically only stop playing during the early access point to like eat and shower. So like if I want to play video games for 16 hours straight for, a couple days, then yeah, I'm gonna play fucking video games for 16 hours straight. And I think the reason why I can get away with that is because like I would love to meet somebody that can say I'm not ambitious. I would love to meet somebody to say that I'm wasting my time. I would love to meet somebody to say that I'm not living up to my full potential because I played video games for 16 hours a day for a 3-day stretch, once every other year when like a game drops an expansion. So I also think that like, again, I think that it's hard to delve into like those individual things in terms of like the minutia of it and the individual context of people and all that kind of stuff. But for my example, I can 100% play a game for 23 hours and it has absolutely no impact on my life or the life of my partner, for example, right? Like everything is going to get taken care of. I'm not losing my job. Everybody going to eat. The rent going to get paid. So in those situations, which is kind of like the pro-social situation I'm talking about, like, yeah, I'm going to play the video game. Just like, I had to learn that if my partner wanted to go spend a lot of money on some Pat McGrath, like, the Pat McGrath money is not going to bother us, right? She's going to keep her job.
Her money.
And, it's her money. Like the rent's going to get paid, all that kind of stuff. She want to go to the spa. Guess what? The spa money not hurting us. So I think we all got to learn on like what's a pro-social hobby and what's really actually impacting the life. Because sometimes a lot of the stuff that y'all saying is like just annoying y'all. It's not even really impacting life. But in those situations where it does impact life, then yes, I think that y'all should take a stand and let people know that, if playing the video game is keeping them from getting a job or doing their schoolwork or something, yeah. But a lot of times,
Man, bro, you are a fucking gem, Alvin. A fucking gem. I just want you to know that.
How do you feel? The rent is paid. That's how I feel. Facts.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, but my niggas, ayo, absolutely. I'm about to be laughing about that shit for a minute. Oh, yo, shit. Yo, leave. But yo, dog, but for real, like, but yeah, no, I totally agree with the sentiments after the fact. Because I mean, shit, ambition can be fucking overrated. Like sometimes people just want ambition to look like. Sometimes people, it's like the clout that you get from someone who is ambitious. Like, oh, my man does da da da. It's like so you have like water fountain like conversations for clout. And again, like no disrespect to like you know what I'm saying in the comments because like you want what you want, but for a lot of other people, like that looks a different type of way. Like you might not, what you might be saying or how you might be articulating might not be what we think it is. But most of the time when people say that sort of stuff, if you're taking care of business, all bases are covered. God damn it, like shit. Nigga, if I had a day where I'm on the game for 8 fucking hours and I did everything I needed to do, like I gave all my woman attention. We was on vacation, just like Alvin said, nigga. We was together for 72 hours straight, hugged up, cuddled up. She got everything she wanted. She hit that goddamn gate, come on. Oh, here your ass go again. You know what I'm saying? Like that. No, like, yeah, nah, fuck all that. That shit can be very overrated. And with that being said, we're just gonna wrap this good old thing up. So if the country that you're living in is acting as the new Fire Nation, then hey, you might be seeing a red flag. But you know, if you're looking for only surface level attributes in your long-term partner versus how they actually make you feel and value, and how they make you feel and value in the long term, then it might be you that's waving the red flag. It's been your boy Josh. It has been Alvin, and it has of course been Eddie with the luscious hair, Eddie with the good hair. And yeah, you know, thank y'all so much for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to join the community, cop that card game, or both of them, or one of them. You know what I'm saying? At your own leisure. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, affordable. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Your boys got some merch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, go ahead, join that good old community. You know, like-minded people, all that good shit. We up in there. They up in there. Make some fast friends potentially, but just don't come in on no weird shit.
Yeah, no, thank you. Peace, 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 everybody.